Hey guys, okay, so let me try to get this ready. I'm trying to prop the camera and design. If we put on the filter, I would totally suggest that. So today for Therapy Sunday, if you guys are unfamiliar, first of all, I want to apologize that I am literally 1 hour late. For the majority of this live, I will probably not be looking at comments. Hi Casey, hi Amber, hi Rachel, hi Maya. Hi Miss Auguste. Hi Tiffany. Okay, so every Sunday what we do is we talk about some pretty deep issues, or it could be things that we're dealing with. It could be happy or sad, but normally for Therapy Sunday, it's probably something sad. I put in the description that there is a trigger warning, which means that the things that we talk about could probably affect or cause some like serious emotions, trigger the things that you may be dealing with, whether it's I don't know, PTSD or severe anxiety. So if you could possibly be dealing with those issues, please click away. This is probably not a video that you would want to see. It's going to be very, very hard for me to talk about this, especially because I don't personally have like I don't have a story to tell like others do. So this is going to be very hard for me to express this, but I feel like this is a very needed topic because so many people have been dealing with this. I even write down entries that I needed to remember, and I wrote them down in my phone, and now I can't remember them because they were in my phone. Hold on. Is this? Yeah, here we go. Hold on. If you were to click on the screen and scroll down just a little bit, you will see a drug abuse hotline. So from what I have researched and what I have read, it is a hotline that is there 24/7. Let me read this to you. I wrote down notes. I even wrote down notes just in case. I'm going to make a couple of disclaimers. Oh, thank you, Rochelle. BDBBB. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Okay, disclaimers. I am not a professional. If someone is needing more help, they need to seek professional help. The drug abuse hotline, can someone write this down? Get ready to write this down. Get ready to write this comment down. 855-984-8912. It will also be in the link of this video. So if you were to tap on the screen, you will see that number down there, 855-984-8912. And also another disclaimer that I want to make, we are not going to debate the cause of addiction or whether it's a disease or otherwise. Some people say it's a disease. Some people say it's a choice. We are not going to battle that. This is going to be a live where we can all come together and talk about experiences that people have gone through. That's it. Nothing more. We want to be, I want this to be a platform. I am also going to, oh my goodness, thank you guys so much for writing it down. Thank you guys so much. I also want this to be a platform where people can come to for help. I am going to read, or I'm going to bring someone on a little bit later. Hold on, I need to take a breath because I'm like freaking out, man. Kona, no. I wrote down the numbers of the entries that I wanted to say, and it's saved in my phone. Oh, I think I might have it down here. Hold on. I remember, I think your phone and your Mac is, oh yes. Okay, here we go. Okay, I think I only wrote down one. That's great. Okay, where do we begin? Okay, so here we go. Thank you guys for writing this down. Also, if you guys can please put like the warning sign. Ooh, this tea is hot. If you guys could please put the warning sign and also write down trigger warning so that if there is anybody that is coming into the live a little bit late, they can be forewarned about this happening. So here we go. I feel like this disease or this condition or whatever you want to call it is an epidemic. It's really sad. I can't even like form my words. I'm just so nervous right now. So many people are affected by this, and it cannot just be the person that may be abusing drugs. It could be family members or friends. There are so many people involved in this, and we will be reading entries of people that have overcame this, and family members that have gone through this. And also towards the end of the live, I will be bringing someone else on to tell their story. I highly recommend that you get either a box of tissues or some toilet paper. Thank you guys for writing down the number continuously. Oh my goodness, thank you guys for writing down trigger warning. It means so much to me. No, it's a wig. It's a wig. So here we go. If you have, and I'm going to try to ignore the comments because I'm freaking out already. Okay. If you have battled with drug addiction or know someone who has, please use this forum to share your experience. And here is what someone had wrote. Although I have not battled with drug addiction myself, I am still a victim. Both of my parents have been drug addicts for my whole life. At the age of 4 years old, I was taken from my parents and put in the system of CPS, Child Protective Services. My parents were given chances and time to reprove themselves. They did not. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna apologize because every time someone puts a new entry, it brings me all the way to the top. So you're just gonna have to forgive me. So I'm gonna have to go back and I'm gonna lose my place. I'm getting so many entries right now. My parents were given chances and time to reprove themselves. They did not. About a year and a half after being put into the system, my parents' rights were removed, which meant no chance of living or visiting with them until I was 18. Being a young child while all of this was happening makes you wonder why you weren't good enough to make your mommy and daddy want you to get back. I had sleepless nights, breaking, tear-filled nights, wondering, why me? Why me? What did me and my brother and sister do to deserve this? We were placed into a filthy, unloving home who treated us as slaves. 3 years we endured that torture before we were finally replaced, this time leading into adoption 7 months later. I thought my new family was great and loving and it couldn't get better until we had been living there for about 2 years. My parents were alcoholics. They grew meaner and meaner the more comfortable me and my siblings got. And now being adopted, we were stuck. No one would believe us when we tried reaching out about how we were treated, so we suffered. Shortly after 18 years old, being the legal age to reconnect with my parents, my dad passed away from drug abuse or drug overdose. My mom was released from prison after a 7-year hold when I was 18 also. When I reconnected with her, I was so happy. I felt like I had met my long-lost best friend, twin, and I fell in love. Too soon, she was put in house arrest for 2 years, and when she was released from house arrest, I noticed a change. I found out she was abusing pills again, and from there, her addiction grew uglier. Heroin, the elephant of all drugs, chewed her up and consumed her. I tried, begged, pleaded with her to stop or get help or do something, but she was already gone, a stranger again. I tried reaching out to her just to chat and check up on her, but I am ignored. My heart is broken. The moral of my story is drug addiction does not only affect the addict, it affects many more, your family and your friends. Drugs are a nasty thing, and they will take a beautiful, wonderful person and turn them into an ugly, selfish stranger you do not recognize. I would also like to end with my firm belief that drug addiction is not a disease, it is a choice. Someone makes themselves and continues to do after being sucked in by the addiction. To all the other victims who are not addicts but nonetheless victims, I pray for you. I hope you keep your head up and keep pushing. Don't be so driven by your past that it affects your future. You are willing and able to create a beautiful, bright future for yourself. Much love. Thank you guys for continually writing that. It means a lot to me. Right now for Therapy Sunday, if you are just like joining right now, get tissues, get a roll of toilet paper. This is a trigger warning. Many people go through this. Many people have suffered from this themselves or have family members that have dealt with it. So if you would like to tell your story in a forum, I have my post on Instagram. I only ask that you do not PM me your responses. I will not be able to see it right now. This is really hard. I really wish I would have printed this because so many people are entering right now. Yes. Yes, John, and yes, Melody. Right, Brittany? And also later on, we are going to have a special guest, and she is going to share her story. I almost feel like she should probably come on now because I cannot really deal with this. I feel like I need her right now because I'm like, psh. If you have battled with drug addiction or know someone who has, please use this forum to share your experience. I have this in my bio in my Instagram. This is what someone had wrote. Okay, never mind. Someone asked me not to share it. I really wish that she would have wrote this at the beginning. Never mind. I can't read that. If you don't want me to share your story, please write that at the beginning because I won't see that until the after. Okay, yeah, no, I'm going to bring her. Yes, Janet. Thank you, Tanya Lee. Okay, I'm going to bring her because I can't. I'm freaking out. Okay, so I'm going to bring my guest on live right now because I can't deal. I'm sorry. She is very much aware of the topic that we will be discussing. I'm sorry if it throws off the sound a little bit. Hi, Brittany.
Hey, Dre. Hey, everybody.
I love you so much, and I'm so excited that you're here. You're so beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, so Brittany, she has talked about this. Brittany, can you tell me how long you have been clean for?
I have been sober now 3.5 years.
That's awesome. I am so proud of you. You know I love you so much. We've been talking for a while. I love you so much.
Yes.
So right now you have the stage, you have the platform. Right now, so many people are dealing with themselves personally. And I just wanted to tell everyone the reason why I got started with this was because someone had personally reached out to me and told me and almost begged me to do a therapy Sunday about drug abuse because she is struggling. She is so scared, but she is crying to me for help. And for me, it's very hard to get personally invested in people because it affects me so deeply. But I felt like if this could save a life, I need to do it right away. And I brought on Brittany. Everybody give positive vibes to Brittany. Because she has personally dealt with this, but I know she is clean and I know she wants to help other people get through this. So, Brittany, you have the stage.
Okay. I want to start off by saying that drug addiction is not just one drug. It can be multiple drugs. I mean, drugs show no mercy regardless of what they are. And just because it's prescribed to you and it's in your name from a legit doctor doesn't mean that you taking it other than prescribed is okay. It's not okay. So, my name is Brittany, and I'm a recovering addict. I was a addict for 12 years. Um, I started off doing basic things, partying here and there with cocaine, um, pretty much Xanax, marijuana, just here and there. I got injured and broke my foot and started taking pain pills, hydrocodone. And from that point on, I went downhill from there. My father was a drug addict my whole life. He was an alcoholic, so it wasn't anything new to me to see pills being taken, drugs being doing. Every drug I did with my dad pretty much the first time. So I guess I felt like a sense of it was okay because the man that was supposed to protect me was the man who partied right along with me or who offered it to me. Um, so I started using, and there was nothing that could control me the way opiates could. It became an addiction to where you're no longer trying to get high, you're trying to maintain so you're not sick and you're not going through withdrawals. Um, it started affecting my life by uh, stealing from my family, lying to everyone, lying to my grandparents raised me, and my grandmother was my best friend. And I lied to them about everything, what I needed money for. And I don't mean $100 here and there. I'm talking thousands of dollars. And these were 80-year-old people that had worked their whole life for everything they had. And I took it with no problem, like it was nothing. And that wasn't the person that I was. I wasn't raised that way. Um, it wasn't me. And, but I didn't care because as long as I wasn't sick and as long as I was feeling good, that's all that mattered. I didn't care about anybody else's feelings. So I had got to the lowest points in my life, probably 5 or 6 years into my use. And um, it got to where I had a $400 or $500 a day addiction. And I mean, I know people who have $1,000 or more a day, so that's nothing. You know, it could be $5 a day. You're still an addict, regardless of what you spend and how much you use. If you are dependent on a drug or alcohol, you're addicted. Um, so I never really reached out to anyone for help at that time because I felt like I had it under control. I went to college, I got a degree, I had good jobs, but I also lost those jobs um, behind drugs, behind pills, not showing up to work on time because I was sick or because I was chasing the drug. And I just kind of, at about 7 or 8 years into my youth, it was like, I'm tired of this life. I mean, I had in and out of jail for small things, stupid little things, 3 days here, 5 days there. But I'm like, this is not the life that I want to live. And when I seen how much I was hurting everyone around me, especially my grandparents, that's when I was like, this is just, what am I doing? So I did go into a rehab and I got clean for maybe a month or two. But I came home and I didn't complete my program and I didn't do my 12 steps. And I was just like, I got this. I can do this. No. When the devil places that substance in front of you, it doesn't matter how strong you are. It's unless you're ready to say no, you're not going to stop. So I continued to use. Um, so in 2009, my grandfather passed away, and my use got worse. I would use pills to numb the pain. Like most people do, they use drugs as an excuse to numb the pain. 2010, my husband died from a drug overdose. So you would have thought, hey, you should stop now. Look what happened to him. But I didn't. It just gave me a reason to fuel my addiction, and I went harder. Um, Thankfully, by the grace of God, the following year, I met my husband now, who is a blessing, a wonderful man who has stuck by my side through everything. Um, so we got together. He knew of my addiction, but not to the extent that it was. And because he loved me, he
It's freezing for me. Hold on.
okay.
You said because he loved you.
Because he loved me, he dealt with my addiction. So he found himself becoming an enabler. And more common than not, that's what most spouses or your other half in a relationship, you love that person so much, you want to help them, and you don't want to leave them, but you end up becoming their enabler. Because drug addicts, we can talk a blind man into a pair of glasses. When you want it bad enough, there's nothing you won't say, and there's nothing you won't give up for it. So, um, he did stick by my side. My grandmother as well, she was an enabler. She knew about my addiction. She would give me whatever I asked just to keep me near her. So in 2012, I ended up going to jail for 6 months. Left my grandmother alone. My husband, who we had only been together about a year and a half, he quit his job, left everything behind to move into take care of my grandmother until I got home. And you would think in those 6 months I would have came home and left it alone. I didn't. I started using again. So long story short, in 2013, my grandmother passed away. She was my best friend. And that's when my addiction went overboard, like completely out of control. I didn't care. I didn't care about life. I didn't care about anything. I just knew that I didn't want to be alone. And the only thing that kept me from being alone in my mind was the pills. So I gave up on everything. My husband still stuck by my side, and I felt like that was my point in my life when I was the absolute lowest. 2014, I committed a crime that ended me up in prison, in Texas Penitentiary for a year. What I didn't know at the time was that saved my life. And I hate to see anyone get to the point to where prison has to stop you, but sometimes that's what it takes.
Give me 1 second,
But
Brittany.
I
Give me 1 second. Okay, for the guys just joining in, for my supporters, please, please, please. I'm not able to do so, but if you guys could write trigger warning, please. I'm hardly seeing it across the screen. I'm gonna need your guys' help because I'm unable to do that. So please, guys, if you could write trigger warning in the comments with the warning sign. I don't want it enable someone. I don't want to trigger someone in a negative way. So please do it. And also, if you see negative comments, my admins are on. They will block it. Please, please, please don't say goodbye to the person giving negative comments. Please ignore it. I promise you they are on, and I'm seeing notifications after notifications from my admins. They're blocking everyone. I've seen tons of comments about certain people that needed to be blocked, and they were blocked a long time ago. So please, let's not give attention to the bad comments, because you're taking it away from them. If you see mad faces, if you see laughing faces, ignore it. Right now is the time for us to focus on the positive, please. And if this is something that's going to trigger you, please click away. I'm sorry, go, Brittany.
I just want to say I have a lot of family watching, and guys, please be sensitive with your comments. I have nephews and nieces that are young on here watching, but I have never hid my addiction from them because I want them to see what it can do to you. Also, I see a lot of people say, I'm sorry, Brittany. Don't be sorry for me either. I am in a wonderful, wonderful place right now. I want to tell my story in hopes that those that are struggling with addiction, those who have family members that are struggling with addiction, whatever it may be, there's hope. There's always hope, and it can happen. It just takes that person. You have to have the want. You have to want to stop. If a person is not willing to stop and they're not truly ready, they're not going to stop. So back to what I was saying. So in 2014, I did commit a crime that landed me in prison. I was very fortunate that I only had to do a year. And all of it was based on my drug addiction. You know, it fueled you, the things you do, the people you're around, the lifestyle you live in this addiction makes you who you are. And so I went to prison, and my husband put his foot down. I never thought he would, and he did. Um, while I was in prison, he wrote me, and I talked to him on the phone, and he told me, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I can't watch you ruin yourself. And I won't sit around to allow you to bring me down anymore. And he was so right by doing that. Because I think if he would not have put his foot down, I would have came home and done the same thing. So I said, you know what? I have to reflect back while I'm in here a year doing nothing. I have to reflect on what it is I want to do when I get out. So I got into as many Bible-based programs as I could that were drug programs. I did Celebrate Recovery. So if there's any addicts out there that want a Christian-based program, drug programs, Celebrate Recovery is amazing, and it's all over the United States. And I used my time to focus on what I was going to do when I got home. What changes was I going to make to stay sober? And it had become where if my husband had left, so be it. I mean, that's just what it is. I couldn't give up, though, on myself. I had to better myself before I could ever better my marriage. So about 6 months into my prison stay, he wrote me and told me he had been reading my letters. He noticed a change in me, and we would see what happened when I got home. But he told me the first time that I used when I came home, that was it. So I knew if I used, I would lose everything. I had already lost my grandparents. My dad was such a bad addict. We didn't have a good relationship anymore. So I had to come home and do right. And sometimes that tough love is what it takes, is really, truly what it takes. If that person is ready and the tough love that you provide them It's a great combination, and it doesn't work for everybody, but if they're truly ready to change, they will. Um, so that's what made me come clean, is pretty much not wanting to live this lifestyle no more. I was tired of spending half of my day chasing a drug, trying to find it, trying to find the money for a 10-minute high just so I wasn't sick. Um, I tried Suboxone, methadone, all these programs that would try to help get me off of the pills. And it worked for a lot of people, and it worked for me for a little bit of time. But to me, I was just placing one substance with another. So in the end, it didn't work. So when I went to prison, I was on methadone, and of course, they take you off of it cold turkey. So now, because of that, a lot of people ask, do you have health problems because of your addiction? Yes. I live with epilepsy every day of my life now. And Dre, you know as well as I do, it's hard. And I never, ever had that. But because my withdrawals were so bad, I started having seizures in jail. And jail's not the best place for you to have any kind of sickness because they don't treat it fast enough. They're not very attentive. So I take 6 different seizure medications every day, and that has led to so many other problems, but we won't get into all that. But a lot of people ask, did it decline your health? Absolutely. Absolutely. It made me a person that I wasn't. I was mean. I was angry. I didn't care about people's feelings. Um, it just turns you into the devil. Any drug does. You're not yourself. Um, all the battles that I overcame to become clean, pretty much everything I've talked about, just being strong, coming home from prison and being around everyone that I was around when I went, it's not possible. You have to change your people, your places, and your things. That is the biggest deal for me. I didn't finish my 12-step program. I did go to NA, not the whole time. But the one thing that kept me sober, the main thing, was I changed my people, my places, and my things. I quit going to the side of town that I lived in, where everybody was at. I quit hanging around people that I'd been friends with 20 years because they were still doing the same thing. Um, you have to. If you want to quit or you want to help your family member, get them away. Seclude them in a way that is positive for them. You're helping them. Um, So I did remove a lot of people out of my life. Actually, Dre, I've told you I have no friends. I do have friends. I say that kindly, but I have a very selective handful, and they are probably all on right now. And that's okay with me. I'd rather have 5 good positive than 50 fake. So, what motivates me to stay sober? My sobriety is everything to me. Everything. From the moment I wake up to the minute I go to bed, I'm challenged with staying sober. From things you see, places you go, commercials on TV, everything is a trigger. Everything. When you learn to process those triggers as positive things in your life, you'll learn to fight that addiction and the urge. Not everyone can do it, and it's hard. It's hard. Not every let me rephrase that. Not everyone can do it at first. And sometimes you're gonna relapse. I relapsed hundreds of times. But you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
Okay, so question. You relapsed 100 Hun-
Okay, it paused.
It's okay. You relapsed hundreds of times. So what made you keep going after every relapse?
That I knew I would eventually get to the point to where I couldn't do it anymore. And my husband putting his foot down was pretty much that barrier for me, that bridge. That bridge broke, and I said, well, I can no longer step on this man. He's done. And it's either would lose what means the most to me in this whole universe next to God, and be alone with a drug who's not going to care about me tomorrow. I wasn't going to have it. I wasn't going to lose it that time. But I still, every day, would wake up struggling. I would think about pills all the time. I mean, I would have dental work, or I would have back issues or other issues, and I would want to ask my doctor, and I would tell myself, it's okay if the doctor writes it. It's when you're an addict, that 10 they're going to write you, you're going to eat them all in one day. You know, it's just in you as an addict. I'm not that strong yet. So I chose to not even ask. Ibuprofen works wonders, believe it or not. But when you learn your weakness and what triggers you, you learn to stand up to those things and stay away from them. Um, the last thing that was the last straw for me is I lost my dad in July 28th of this year. And to drugs, pretty much. He was the last person I had left in my family. In my family, not my husband's, just my personal family. I'm an only child. I don't have cousins and things, and my dad was all I had left, and I lost him. And I told myself, there isn't another pill, another line of cocaine, another drink, nothing that could make me lose anybody else or lose myself. That was my last straw. And I literally woke up the next morning after my dad passed away. That was July 28th. I have never thought about using again since then. I've never felt weak since that day. And this is stuff I haven't even told my husband. But that day we did my dad's funeral. I said, I won't. It's just too much. I've lost too many people. I've lost too many friends. I won't lose myself, and I won't hurt everybody else around me anymore. There's help out there, guys. And I just want you to know, if you know someone that's battling with addiction, or if you're battling with addiction and you're not okay to open up about it, that's fine. Listen to what I tell you. Listen to the stories from these people who, in the comments of today's post, I was blown away of all the people who have, my 3.5 years is nothing compared to people who've been sober 20 years. I mean, that's amazing. They are my idols. Go back, read the comments, pray about it. I mean, a lot of people don't look at it spiritually, they don't believe that they want to just quit, but their beliefs are different than mine. Let's say like that. I couldn't have done it without God. I truly could not have done it without God. Jehovah is the only thing that truly brought me out of this. He is. There's so many Bible-based programs, non-Bible-based programs. If you attend a regular church, almost every church has a drug program. People are worried that I want to go to rehab or a detox facility, but I don't have insurance. Every state in the United States has a program, a government-funded program that provides grants to those who do not have insurance to enter into a facility. Now, it may not be the Marriott or the Hyatt Regency, but if you want to get sober and you really are truly wanting this, you don't care what it is. It's better than a jail cell. I know that much. So what I can say to all of y'all is when you see an addict, don't give up on them. They're gonna push you away. They're gonna tell you they don't need help, that they have this. They're gonna tell you everything when really they're crying for help. They're secretly screaming for you to help them. Don't give up. If you have a spouse or a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, that's on drugs, don't give up on them. I'm not saying it's okay for you to have to deal with what you're going through, for your children to suffer, for you to suffer. It's not okay. It's definitely not. But if you love the person and you know that there's a better side to that person, stick with them, help them. Um, Tough love. Find them help. Google is amazing. You can find anything. The number Dre has provided. If you have mental health issues, there's the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Administration that offers free rehab. There's too many opportunities for a drug addict to get help. So there's no excuse other than you're just not ready. So if you're not ready, come to terms with yourself. I'm not ready right now. Eventually, one day I will be. But don't tell yourself that you don't have a problem because you do.
Do you feel like anyone can get sober? Yes. Okay. And so what encouragement, because your story is so heartbreaking and you are just so real, Britt, to me, and I love you for coming on here. What encouragement can you tell specifically? There are people, I know there are people that are watching right now that are dealing with drug addiction. What can you personally tell them? Forget all the other people that are watching. What can you tell them, and what words of encouragement can you tell them to motivate them to reach out for help?
I can tell you that every day is going to be harder. One day to the next, though, it will get easier. Take it one day at a time. Don't plan your future. Plan tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Be thankful that you wake up. Just know that a lot of people tell me, well, the withdrawals, you don't know how bad the withdrawals are. Yes, I do. I know what it is to not be able to hold your bowels. I know what it is to vomit constantly till you have your next fix. I know what that is. And I know those are very sensitive subjects for people, but I'm sorry, guys. I'm just very raw and real with it. You will get past that. People are scared to go to rehab because they think the detox is going to be horrible. Guys, they have medication to make it easier. Don't let that stop you. The most encouragement I can say is if I can do it, you can do it. If I can turn my life around, you can. And one day at a time, one day at a time, and keep the negative away from you and change your people, places, and things. That to me was what the best thing that I could have done. Um, that's pretty much it, is one day at a time, and just know there's help everywhere. Ask for help. Ask your best friend for help. Ask a stranger for help. If you know me and I don't know that you need help, write me. Tell me, Brittany, I need help. Um, just don't let a drug addiction stop you from bettering your future. I'm now going to college for my bachelor's degree to become a substance abuse counselor. And let me tell you why. When I was in rehab, I couldn't stand for a woman to sit behind her desk with a degree above her head and tell me, I know how you feel. No, you don't. You know what a book tells you. You know what man says about withdrawal and what doctors say. You don't know what a real drug addict feels like. And I couldn't stand to talk to someone unless they had truly been through it. So I felt my calling, that God put it on my heart, and my calling was to help others that could hear my story and know, when I say I know how you feel, I really know how you feel. So when I say get help, better yourself, don't be scared to ask for help, and relapse 100 times if that's what it takes. Don't be scared of failure. We all fail. Just don't give up.
That's awesome.
Just don't give up.
And Brittany, you knew that I was going to do this therapy Sunday before other people on my page knew. How did you feel about me asking you to help me on this page?
I was nervous at first because I've never been out of my comfort zone and just told my whole story. I've never opened up about all the negative things I've done to my family. But I felt like, guys, none of us, a lot of people gave hate that we're not, Dre's not qualified. I'm not qualified. Let me tell you something. What is a qualification to speak to someone about an addiction? If you have family members that you've dealt with that are addicts, if you've been an addict, if you've worked the program, that's as much qualification as you need. So don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I think it is amazing that Dre used her platform for such a taboo subject. And it shouldn't be taboo. This is something that should be discussed and not hushed. So many people hush it, and that's why we have such a high epidemic of heroin use. We have the highest epidemic of heroin use. It shouldn't be hushed at all. And I thank you, Dre. Thank you for using your platform for such a positive thing. If my story could help one person could take from this something and know, you know what, that girl was worse than I was. So if she can do it, I can do it. If that one person can get help, then all of this was worth it to me. If every person felt that was a recovering addict and has been sober, felt the same way, that one person helped one other person, we would change this world, guys. It would be totally different if everyone would pay it forward in such a sense. Don't be scared to tell your story. Don't be ashamed of being a drug addict. I'm not ashamed, and I wouldn't change anything. People look at me crazy. You wouldn't go back and not have used? I mean, who wouldn't? You know? But do I regret it? Do I wish I would have done things differently? Of course, but I don't regret it. It has molded me into the person that I am now, and I love myself now. I love who I am. I love the wife that I am, and I love the mother that I hope to one day be. So don't think that you're bad because you use. No, you have a problem. You need help. That's it. It doesn't make you any better or any worse than the person sitting next to you.
Thank you so much, Brittany, for being here. I appreciate you so much.
Thank
You
you
know,
for-
I was so intimidated to talk about something because this doesn't hit close to home like it may on some other people. But I know I couldn't have done this without you, Brittany. And I appreciate and I love you so much for coming on here and sharing your story.
Guys, y'all be nice to Dre. This would have never happened if it wouldn't have been for her platform. And she's more than just makeup, y'all know that. So help each other. Go home tonight and kiss that loved one that you know is going to use tomorrow morning, or who's probably high when you get home from partying tonight. Hug them, kiss them, tell them you love them. And tomorrow morning, try to get them help.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can say. There's so much help out there.
Yes. Okay, Brittany. Everybody give positive vibes to Brittany. Beep, 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 beep. Thank you so much, Brittany.
Thanks, guys.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Love you too. Bye.
Wasn't she amazing? I love her so much. Oh my goodness, day 6 of being clean. Congratulations, Amanda Tracy. I appreciate you so much. That is so amazing. It doesn't matter if it's 1 day, 2 days, 6 days. That is amazing. I was so intimidated, and at the beginning of this video, I couldn't even like form my words because I'm so intimidated to talk about this. And I know there was hate. I knew that there was going to be hate talking about such a sensitive topic, but I don't care. Like, if what we talk about can help one person, that would be great. But I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I don't have a degree in this, but what I do have is a heart to help someone. And that's what anybody needs. Like, if you know someone, that's all you need. Someone that needs to get help, needs support. That's it. That's it. Someone that needs help, needs support. And even if they act like they don't need support, I promise you they do. I promise you they do. Even if they fight you till the ends of the earth, they need help. And sometimes people can be arguing with you, telling you that they don't need it, but they do. Been sober for 9 years. Congratulations. Congratulations, Chris and Candace. I've been a little bit here, Bonnie. I'm so glad, Tamara, that you have not. I'm so glad that you have not. Hold on, Raza. That's bad. Play with something else. You want to... Orange? Orange? Hold on. Okay, son. Hold on. Here we go. Let's see it. Hold on. Raza was happy in the room and now he came out and is not happy. So give me a second. I want to read stories that provide help and hope. But give me a second. Or maybe I just might. I don't want to say something or read a story that can cause someone to hurt or relapse. He's so adorable. Congratulations, Kimberly. Thank you for that. 1 day. Yes, Mary. Yes. Yes. Here we go. Let's see if we have any stories. If you have battled with drug addiction or know someone who has, please use this forum to share your experience. This person said, Dre. I never answer these. I always just listen to you read and respond to them. And that just hits the spot for emotions by itself. But this one is close to home. Too close. Oh no, Raza, you okay? Here you go. My son's dad relapsed when I was about halfway through my pregnancy, end of 2014. He did a good job at first hiding it, but it quickly spiraled out of control. He had a seizure. He had been shot in and out of jail, is now residing in prison. He had seen our son a handful of times. Meth turns into mean person. Meth turns them into a mean person. The things he had said and did to me still make me cry. We lost everything because of addiction. We still have contact with him because I feel this is a glimpse of hope for him, but honestly, I don't know the outcome. I've heard I'm done 1,000 times and I want to be a dad, but actions speak louder than words. And he knows that he needs more help than to stay in the cell. I pray for him daily and I hope he finds God in this time. Me and my baby have took this as a turning point instead of a downfall. I've been in school since January 2016, got a car and moved back in our home, in our own little apartment, and have a great job. My son has all that he will ever need. I still have my family and his family support. They are there for every holiday and birthday. It's been a long ride and sometimes I feel like I couldn't get off. But I feel like if I pray hard enough and I'm a glimpse of hope for him, he will come back to his son. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. Raza, papi. Hold on, let me see. Whoa, this is a long one. Let's see. Here's another one. If you have battled with drug addiction or know someone who has, please use this forum. Okay, thank you, Raza, to share your experience. This person says, I have never battled with drug addiction, but I have been affected from the pain it causes when your loved one was battling with it. That certain loved one was my father. A story that was supposed to end with forgiveness and hugs, but in return ended in tragedy. My father for years battled with alcoholism, which then led to pills. I never knew how bad his addiction to pills, Loratabs, what really was. Oh my God, your hands are dirty, Bobby. Really was. Of course, I always knew in the back of my mind he had an addiction, but I decided as a young teenager to block it out of my mind and pretend my dad was a sober father. But then reality hit one day. The day I decided to forgive my father over the phone for the past 3 months of hurt he had put me through ended in a different phone conversation than I expected. I expected my dad to pick up and tell me that he was going to get better and be a better dad, but instead I didn't get to hear him say that. Instead, the phone call I thought I would never have to hear at the age of 18 didn't come from his voice on the other line, but instead my grandmother's voice with words that weren't what I wanted to hear. I was told that my dad just overdosed on pain meds and was being rushed to the ICU. Of course, I didn't believe it. This stuff doesn't happen to a man at the age of 42 with 2 children, one who just turned 18 and the other one who was just 10 years old at the time. It just doesn't happen. I was unfortunately wrong for wishful thinking because it was true. When I got to the ICU, the nurses told me that my father's brain was swelling too fast and he had a 50-50 shot of making it out. I was also told that I was the closest to kin to him and would be his power of attorney of all his medical decisions. Who knew that day, the day I was going to forgive him, would be the day that I'm being put in a situation of a life and death for father's life. 3 days passed in the ICU and my dad wasn't getting better, but worse. There was little chance of survival, and even if he did survive, he would have been living a vegetable. He would have been a living vegetable. So the doctors told me I had to make the hardest decision I would ever have to make. The choice to stop life support. I decided to stop life support not because I was giving up on my dad, but because I knew that this was not a life for him. If he did not make it out, I couldn't bear to see my father in a hospital bed for the rest of his life or in a wheelchair half brain dead. That's not my father. So I had to let him go. But before I did, I told him I forgave him for everything and that I loved him. Although it was the worst scenario, I still held his hand tight and told him those words. I like to believe that it's true that the hearing is the last to go and that he heard me. November 18th, 2013, I lost my father to a drug overdose. I'll never have the chance of my father walking me down the aisle, nor seeing his grandchildren. My father didn't even get to see me graduate high school a few months later. This was an unfortunate tragedy that could have ended in a different way. I wish I would have known how bad his addiction was, so I maybe could have saved him from it. So instead, maybe by sharing my story, it can shed some light on those addicted to drugs and how it can affect your loved ones after it's too late and there's no second chances. So please, the next time you think of taking another hit of a drug, think of your loved ones. That one pill or any drug can then result to addiction, which then could end your life. Stop now while you can, before it's too late, not just for yourself, but also for the ones you love. I didn't ask for names on this, so I don't know who read or who wrote it, but thank you so much for sharing your story. Here we go. Here's another one. If you have battled with drug addiction or know someone who has, please use this forum to share your experience. Thank you guys for writing trigger warning. Thank you so much, Angela. Thank you guys for sharing your experience. What you write could possibly save someone else. Are you okay?
Okay.
You're okay?
Mommy.
Yes? Ooh, orange? What about Sing? Do you want to watch Sing? Thank you, Reza. You want to watch Sing?
Orange.
Thank you. If you have battled with drug addiction or know someone who has, please use this forum to share your experience. Thank you, Tanya Lee. You even have the number for the... Yes. Thank you. Thank you guys for writing trigger warning. Let me take a bite of this orange because y'all know I stay hungry. Here's someone else's experience. My sister was 11 the first time she took an opioid. Her mother gave it to her for cramps during her first time of the month, almost every month. She became addicted. She would beg her mom to give her more because she liked the way it made her feel. 11 years old. She once told her school counselor her mom was giving her Vicodin like candy. CPS stepped in and gave her to my parents, and she was clean for a little while. Though she caused so much trouble for my parents, she went to live with her mother again for a while, and she began to shoot up meth, with her mother helping her. She was 15 the first time she put a needle in her arm. She quit school. She gave up on getting help. My parents never gave up on her in this time. She was in and out of our home, but she was strung out and would do anything to get high. When she turned 18, her mom passed, and she stopped talking to our parents. Getting high was more important than a relationship with her father, step-parent, and her sisters. She had just turned 23 and came to us. She was 4 months pregnant. She was hurt and alone. She had nowhere to turn, and she wanted to get clean. My mother helped her, became her best friend, and we were her support system. We were so proud of her. We told her almost every day. She had the baby, a beautiful baby girl. The baby was 4 months old the first time her mother relapsed. She had taken her baby to see her grandmother, which happened to be in the same area she grew up. My sister's grandmother called my father and informed him that my sister had never made it down there to see her. They went to look for her and found the baby in a trailer home all alone in a bed. She was crying and scared. They later found my sister next door shooting up. My parents have taken custody of my niece. My sister still visits her, but she will not get clean. Overdose after overdose. Her daughter being taken, rehab, nothing has helped. We pray for her every day. We love her more every day. I am not addicted to drugs, but addiction has still affected my life. Thank you guys so much for writing trigger warning. Thank you guys so much. I'm just writing experience that people have felt or experiences that people have gone through. Some of these are really sad, and I'm kind of afraid to read them. I just don't know if I should read them because I don't want to affect someone in a negative way. Some of these are really bad. I think they would really help people that have family members that are addicted, but I'm afraid of. I'm trying to look for a story with a good outcome. Here we go. Let's look at this one. Oh no, that's not a good one. Right? Yes, Jessica, I agree. I agree, Caitlin, too. That's a reality. Some of these are not. I need to read. Oh. I know this person is watching me right now. I'm not going to read it. I need to find some. Okay, here we go. This one is a good outcome. I cannot pick individual stories. I apologize. I'm sorry. What? Alicia, thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. Okay, so if you have battled with drug addiction or know someone who has, please use this forum to share your experience. This person says, hi, my name is Yvette. I want to share my experience. So when I was 15, I tried crystal meth. I instantly liked the feeling of not thinking growing up. I was bullied, being called fat, ugly. No one liked me. I tried to commit suicide, but it didn't work. So my second option was drugs when I was 16. I went to a party with a couple of friends and did a lot of crystal meth and mixed it with alcohol. Not a good combination. Anyways, the next day I had to go to the hospital because my heart rate wouldn't go down. They gave me all kinds of medication I don't remember because I was out of it. I didn't get well until 3 days later. I stopped for a while when I was 17 years old when I met my boyfriend. We lived in the streets in a tent. Every single day we would smoke it. I smoked because we didn't have food, so crystal meth would control my hunger. I experienced a lot until my uncle came to pick us up and help us. That day changed my life for the better. A couple of weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. I was filled with joy. My baby girl is now 9 months old, and every day I thank my uncle and my daughter because they are the reason why I stopped doing crystal meth. I've been clean now for more than a year. I just want to say for those who are struggling, get help before it is too late. I promise you that it may seem hard for you, but you will get through anything. God is with you. Never give up on yourself. What you're doing or what you're going through, it's just temporary. It will get better. I promise it will. This is my experience, and I am a survivor. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, Yvette. Some of these are really, really sad. Oh, some of these are really sad. I'm trying to look for one with hope. I know. Oh, wow. I know someone close to me. Who was I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna tell about experience of someone that I know personally. Here, hold on, Raza, you're falling off. It's hurting my leg. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Oh, thank you, Jessica. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Rochelle, can I come on your live? Sure, I will let you come on my live.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Rochelle. Oh,
Yeah.
hi.
Maya.
This is my little boy, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
Oh my goodness. I just want to say that thank you for being you. Thank you for being a strong woman.
Me.
Here's my daughter, Nevaeh.
Hi.
I just want to come on and say that I battled with drug addiction for 2 years. Those 2 years, when they say your addiction picks up where it leaves off, it does. I started using after I graduated high school. My sister-in-law died on my last day of high school. She helped me graduate. She helped me learn everything that I needed because my mom, she was a young mom, so she wasn't able to finish through her years at school. And I got news that she had passed away on my last day of high school, and I felt so sad. I didn't want to feel the feelings that I was feeling. So I just did it. I just did what I was seeing through my siblings, and I just did what I felt was right. And I did that for like 3 months. I got clean for 6 years. I got my oldest, his 12th birthday is today. I had him, and then my other daughter, Marissa, and then I relapsed as a part of my story. I relapsed for 2 years, and those 2 years took away everything that I had slowly worked on, and I slowly lost myself, mostly. Then I lost my kids. Then I lost my car, and then I lost my house. I was living in a tent, and my kids got taken away, and I just didn't want to feel anymore. I didn't want to feel anymore. I fought for my kids. The judge told me that I wasn't going to get them back, and I got my kids back. I took CPS to trial, and I tell you, I told my lawyers, like, there's something we're not doing. That judge cannot tell me that this mother right here is not going to get her kids back. But I got my kids back, and my case is closed. There's hope. There's a lot of hope.
What helped you to get clean?
I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I got sick and tired of not having my kids. My mom's like my best friend. My mom had a heart attack, and I had to go see her in the hospital. And they had to go put a stent in her and everything. I was just tired. I didn't want to feel anymore. I didn't like the way I was where I was going. I just picked up the phone with my CPS worker, and I said, "Hey, I'm ready. I cannot do this no more."
What battles did you go through while you were trying to get sober?
Let me see. I was sexually assaulted by a West Sac officer here in Sacramento. That was the number one thing that that like forced me to, like, hey, you need to get help. You need to get off the streets. You are not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be at home. You're supposed to be with your kids. After that one thing helped me, just kicked me in my butt and said, hey, go get help.
So what advice can you offer people that want to, but just need that motivation? They need that kick. What would you tell someone? What would you have told Rochelle to hit it like in your head? You need help. You need it. Get sober.
They need to know their worth. They need to know that they are worthy inside of everything that they have in themselves. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody. You have to know your worth.
And that drug addiction doesn't define your
No,
worth.
no. We are all human. We are all human. We make mistakes. And it's what we do with those mistakes that will make us a better person. Because let me tell you, I felt stuck. I felt so stuck. Even though I knew there was people that helped me. But when you are ready, you will be ready.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your story, Rochelle. I appreciate
You're
that so
welcome.
much. Thank you for asking. I have your story pulled up right here. After I take you off of the live, I'm gonna read your story to everyone so that they have a deeper understanding. Because I was reading the entries and yours stood out to me. It's so beautiful.
Do you want? I want you to say happy birthday to my son real quick.
Say what?
Happy birthday to my son.
Oh, I don't celebrate, so I probably won't say that. Yeah.
Okay.
But thank you for coming on live with me.
Here's my son.
Hi.
He's my twin.
Hi. Oh, he looks like you.
Yes. Thank you, Dre.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing, Rochelle. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I love you.
I love you too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. Again, I just want to remind everyone that, no, I don't celebrate birthdays. Nope. I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't celebrate birthdays or holidays or New Year's. Not interested at all. Even if I wasn't one of Jehovah's Witnesses, I still wouldn't do it. So yeah. But if you were to click on the screen, there is a number, there is a hotline that you can call 24/7 that will help you. It is the drug abuse hotline, 855-984-8912. That number you can call anytime whatsoever. I just wanted to read Rochelle's entry, and then I'm going to get off. So here we go. This is her entry. My name is Rochelle. You may say my name. I come from a long line of addicts, ranging from my dad, mom, and siblings. I was the first kid of my mom's to graduate from high school 2004 that she had raised. My sister-in-law helped me in knowing everything that I needed to know for school, computers, math, English. I got the news that she had passed away on the last day of high school. I was broken. A week later, when I had walked across the stage, I blew a kiss up there to heaven. I said, "This is for you. I miss you. I miss her so much." Well, shortly after that, I got around the wrong crowd, started doing meth, started doing it to numb the pain I was feeling. Only was doing what I seen others do to numb their pain. I used so I couldn't feel. I used because I wanted to be with her, tell her that I loved her, and let her think and tell her, "Thank you for all that you have taught me." As I write this, I'm tearing up. I used for 3 months, tried to hide it, but couldn't. I was slowly killing my mom. She was dying on the inside, seeing her first kid that graduated, and the only straight-headed child go down the same path others took. I finally had enough. When my mother told her what I had been doing, she told me she already knew. I told her, "Help me get into Job Corps." I was done. I didn't want to go into treatment. She helped me. I stayed clean for 6 years, gave birth to my older kids. I relapsed from 2010 to 2015. When they say your addiction picks up where it leaves off, they are right. I went from smoking meth to shooting it. I slowly lost everything that I worked for. First, I lost myself, lost a true relationship because of my stupid mistakes. He left. Then lost the kids to the system. Lost my car, then my house. One was broken once again. I was trapped. My mom had a heart attack and I moved to Vegas. I got my head out of my butt and called my worker, let her know I was ready. Went into the program and get my kids back. Well, I ended up relapsing in the program and got kicked out. Was supposed to go back in 2 weeks, but I ended up doing a 4-month run. I wasn't able to see my kids because of my actions. In that 4-month run, I got sexually assaulted by an officer. I returned back to the program. I was done. I fought for 3.5 years to get my kids back. I fought so hard, had to take the case to trial, took CPS to trial. I fought so bad, even after the judge said I wasn't going to get them back. I wasn't accepting no for an answer. In December 2014, I got the best Christmas present ever. The judge said they are going to come home, but not just then. It was going to be a process. I got chills, and a feeling of God just touched me and spoke to me. They were returned home permanently in 2015. Case closed. Now I have 6 beautiful kids. So if you are currently in a situation where you have lost hope, you need to hold on to that hope and never give up. That was so beautiful. Thank you guys so much. I see you guys congratulating people, and I see you guys like encouraging others. Thank you guys so much for doing that. Like that, I appreciate that so much because, like I said before, this is something like I'm so scared to like talk about because I don't have like a deep personal experience with this. One person that I do know that has gone through this, she was using before she got pregnant. And as soon as she got pregnant, she stopped because she knew that she loved herself, or she loved her children more than she loved herself. As soon as she had her children, she started using again. After she was pregnant with her second child, she stopped using again, and then she realized that the man that she had the second child with was no good to her. And he put her in such dangerous situations where she knew she had to leave. And after that, she quit completely. She found someone else and stayed clean and has been clean for, I want to say, 30 years now. Over 30 years. Yeah. So it's something that can affect so many people. You just never know. But I think what I love about Rochelle's experience is her saying that you are worthy. So many people I know from the stories that I have read, there's almost 400 entries already, but you can get help. So many people feel worthless, but you're not. Seek attention, seek help. There is a hotline. If you were to click on the screen and scroll down, there is a number that you can contact. But there's so many people on this forum I know that are offering help, but I know there has to be resources in your area. Google. Like, there is always programs and people that are willing to help. I highly encourage you to reach out to someone. It doesn't take a professional to help you get clean. It just takes love and support. And if you are dealing with someone who is dealing with addiction, just don't give up on them. It's not too late. It's not too late. Good for you, Aisha. Thank you guys so much for offering. Did you know that if you text 741-741 in the U.S. when you are feeling really depressed or suicidal crisis. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. I'm pinning your comment, Angela. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. So I'm gonna end this live. I'm sitting on this little chair and my butt is hurting. I'm just being real. Like, I cannot take it anymore. But thank you for sharing your story, Brittany and Rochelle. I appreciate you guys so much. After this, I will make a post where if someone wants to share their story, you guys are more than welcome to. I ask that everybody be respectful of other people that have gone through this, and maybe you guys can lend a listening ear and tell them, and maybe give them words of encouragement. Deborah, if you want to write on the next post that I just give me like a minute, and I will make a post, and you guys can post your experiences, or you can give more hope as to what helped you get sober. What encouragement can you give to someone? Because we always see the nasty and the ugly of drug addiction, but show the beautiful side of it. What blessings do you have now because you have overcome? Like, these are things that you could talk about in the post that I am about to make, so that it can encourage someone else who may be dealing with it, or family members that are affected by it, and they can give your words of advice and your words of encouragement to them.
Mommy.
Oh, thank you guys. And I appreciate you guys thanking me, but I'm no one special. Everybody is dealing with a battle we just don't know and we don't face, and I felt so intimidated to take on this topic. Like, I was having major anxiety before this, because it's like, this is something that I haven't personally dealt with, so who am I to even talk about something as deep as this, when this is such a real life issue in other people's lives.
Mommy.
But I'm able to read other people's experiences, and hopefully that will help someone else. Woo, girl. Careful, Poppy. Yes, wow. Yes. Well, thank you guys so much. Have a good night. And I will probably see you guys tomorrow on my next live. I love you guys so much. If you have a story that you want to tell, maybe I might not be able, maybe I didn't read it because there are a lot of entries. Please don't send it to me through my inbox. I know this sounds really harsh, but I'm not going to read it, only because I get so emotionally invested in these entries, and it literally breaks me down. Raza. Okay, I'm not going to pull away his hand because he's happy, but you guys are more than welcome to share it on my forum that I will leave up on Instagram, or in the next post. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.